Fufu is a traditional Nigerian dish popularly known as akpu in the eastern part of the country. Primarily made from cassava, this starchy staple food is usually served as an accompaniment to stews, soups, or sauces. Recently, fufu gained traction on the global scene, ranking 13th on the Chef Pencil staff most popular cuisine on Instagram in 2021, with over 300 tags on the social media platform.
The reason why I choose fufu over other swallow in Nigeria, like Africa entirely, is because the country is hard. Whenever I take my fufu, whenever I take my fufu, it goes down a long way with me always compared to other food. So if I take my fufu probably in the morning, like I'm sitting down and taking my fufu now, I will not bother to eat anything till down in the evening before I take my dinner.
But it is not the popularity or the taste of this meal that is drawing attention now. A social media user of the X platform made a post about how his friend was allegedly hospitalized after consuming fufu in a local restaurant. In the tweets, the X user with the name @EketiBabyGov said, and quote, "A friend of mine ate fufu that was mixed with hypo from a buka in Lagos. Now he is booked for surgery and tissue expansion at Lassoth. I saw what that meal did to him, his skin and intestines. People should be careful out there." End of quote. This tweet generated over 1 million views in 2 days, with many expressing their shock. New Central TV decided to investigate the story. We visited a local processing center in Ogun State close to a canal under the bridge of a popular road that connects to Lagos State. Here, the cassava roots are cut, peeled in bulk, and then stored in drums filled with water and expected to ferment for a maximum of 4 days, depending on air temperature. Although the center looks quite busy with workers, mostly older women, it doesn't appear 100% hygienic for food production. We, however, asked if any substance was added to these cassava cuttings stored in 200-liter drums to enable them ferment faster. The answer was no.
We dey buy the market from Jebu there. Motor carry come here. We dey work, we dey build the cassava, soak for the drum, put water. After 3 days, we crown am with the engine here. Then the food there, we dey wash am, press the stone, sell them.
Do you add any chemicals to these drums of cassava just to enable it to ferment faster?
No.
However, previous investigative reports claim that some local processing centers often add bleaching agents to the already soaked cassava to hasten the fermentation process. Harafat Busari is a nutritionist in one of the foremost lifestyle medicine digital brands in Nigeria. From her level of expertise, she tells us that chemicals like bleaching agents and detergents have no place for human consumption, explaining the effect of these on nutrition. She says the harmful chlorine residuals found in bleach are toxic to the internal system of consumers.
They pose so much effect on the health. Aside from gastrointestinal issues alone, it causes effect on the reproduction health, on neurogenetic health, and long-term exposure. When a consumer eats this contaminated fufu or any other food long-term, it puts them at risk for long-term health disease as well, like cancers, a dementia, even things like that, because it has damaged the liver, the kidney, and the nervous system. What chlorine is majorly used for is for disinfecting, and it is also present in water, in tap water. It is used as a form of disinfecting water to make it suitable for drinking. But chlorine in gari is not something that should be. There are other ways that gari or fufu can be fermented without the use of chlorine to make it suitable for human consumption.
In Nigeria, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control is the agency responsible for the regulation and control of the importation, exportation, manufacturing, advertisement, distribution, sale and use of food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, bottled water, chemicals, and detergents. In the virtual interview, the Director of Chemical Evaluation and Research for the agency disputes the notion that bleaching compounds are used to ferment cassava, citing the chemical makeup of both the crop and the bleach.
That detergent, if you add it to your fufu, maybe you grind your cassava, add it to your fufu, number one, the smell will remain. You know how detergents smell, all detergents, it will remain. That's number one. Number two, there is no basis for anybody to convince me that there can be a reaction between linear alkyl benzene sulfonate and starch, because the major ingredient or the major chemical that is inside fufu or cassava or yam is starch. Starch is an organic compound. This linear alkyl benzene sulfonate, the linear alkyl benzene part of it is also organic compound. Two organic reacting, the reaction will be terribly slow. It doesn't support it unless you put a catalyst there.
In the course of working on this story, our efforts to get the ex-user at Ekete Baby Golf or his friend, whom was said to have been hospitalized after eating fufu, wasn't successful. Though there may not be much to worry about, relying on what the NAFDAC official and nutritionist said, many keen lovers of fufu, since the viral tweet, have urged regulatory bodies like NAFDAC to introduce strict rules that guide the production of local dishes. Adeshewa Odushoga, reporting for News Central.